Hello and welcome to my channel. I started this channel to show my sewing journey and to connect with the community of people who are also interested in that. I apologize, I'm doing a voiceover, and if there's any background noise, I have a 5, 3, and 1-year-old, and the house is usually very noisy. This beautiful fabric you see me working with is a vintage fabric I found at an estate sale. I wish I had way more of this, but I don't. So what I decided to do was to make a tote bag. I sell totes and market bags at a farmer's market that we work. On Saturdays we have a farm and we sell meat usually, but I also take hand sewn items and sew them and sell them there. And so I am working on trying to create more better totes. So I did a little bit more with this one than I usually do. I added some pockets, and then I did like a bow pull tie to do a closure, and I ended up taking them to the market that weekend, and I made 2 of those and they sold immediately, so that was very positive. I always love finding vintage fabrics and different looking fabrics and things that are not, they're not readily available usually. And I love the idea of slow fashion and reusing and not contributing to fast fashion. So I really like the hunt of estate sales and the hunt of finding really cool things and being able to turn those things into something that people want and that they'll use again. And I find that really, it's inspiring for me and it's fun. This fabric that's right here that I'm using, I got quite a couple of yards, and I've made some little bows and some big bows, and then I've made like hair bows, and then I've made totes out of them, and they always sell. They immediately sell. People love it. I wish, again, that I had more of this fabric. It's such a pretty fabric, and a lot of people say it gives them cottagecore vibes, which is, something I had to look up because I didn't know what they were talking about at first, but then I totally got it. I was like, oh, that's what that's called. So it's pretty fun to use. It's just a nice cotton, and I love it. So I'm hoping to go on the hunt again soon and find some more fabric like this. So here I'm creating the slot for my ties to go through. I'm doing I do a bow on one side and I put it all the way through around and tie it at the end. So again, I apologize for the background noise. Little kids on summer break, so they're playing. This is my first time doing this type of bag, so it was kind of a learning curve. I'm self-taught when it comes to sewing, so everything I've done is just kind of I've watched YouTube videos and I've kind of tried to figure it out. I have gotten better over the years. I'm really working this year to up my skills and to come up with more sewing skills and create some more things. I tried making some shorts for my daughter, and I actually pulled that off, although they were very simple and they didn't even have pockets. But it's something that I'm hoping to show a bit on this channel, is new projects that I'm doing and how I'm going about it. Again, I am self-taught, so I'm sure if anybody has experience, they're like, she's doing this all wrong, which is, probable. I welcome any feedback on that, but it's working for me right now, and I really enjoy it. So here I'm working on the lining of the bag. I'm adding pockets, and I have to put pins on the sides because I always forget to not close up a side so that I can turn it all right side out. I do it every time I sew, and I made a lot of these bags. I make a lot of totes, and I forget it every time unless I pin it. So otherwise, I won't know what I'm doing, and it just, I'll have to rip out seams, and I hate ripping out seams. It's just the worst. So pattern I was working on had me create pockets like this for something else, and I went ahead and used it again for this tote bag, and it's pretty good. I think it's a little bit bulky. I don't like how heavy it is on the lining, even though I used a really good lining that was kind of heavy enough to, it's see-through, but it was like strong, and it worked out fine for this bag. For a different bag, I used a more traditional kind of pocket, and I think it just works better. I don't see any benefit in doing it this way, except maybe you hide more seams. Pockets are something I do plan on working towards a little bit more and figuring out the best way to do it for me. And I think that's really the key, is like what works best for me and what I'm doing. Learn that out the hard way when it comes to farming. You know, you can watch something and watch someone do it and it works great for them, but in practice when you do it, it's kind of a nightmare. So I'm kind of taking that approach when it comes to my totes and things like that. I want them to be good quality. I want them to look nice, but I also need them to like work for me and the way that I sew. And I think I'm still trying to figure that out. Here I am attaching the lining to the front of the bag, and I will be turning it inside out, and then you'll be able to see the straps that I made for this bag. I made them from the same material as the lining, and they turned out nice. I'm thinking about using leather for some of my next ones. I've worked a little bit with leather, and I have some of it, so I'm thinking that would look really, really nice. We'll see if I get to that. I always have these grand plans and great ideas, and then finding the time to make these things happen is nearly impossible. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. I really, really love these bags. I'm going to have to like make one for myself before I run out of fabric. I have, I think, 2 more bags worth, maybe 1. So maybe that one will be mine. I'm going to miss it when it's gone. And I think that's the biggest problem I have, is I find very cool things and I'm like, I don't want to use it because I love it so much. I was trying to figure out this bag as I went. So there are some things that I did realize that I didn't like, and some things that I had to change. But one of the biggest things, my mic wasn't working here, so ignore my lips. I was trying to figure out how to put the bow closure through it's like a sash through, and so I ended up doing it by hand, sewing the lining to the outer fabric by hand and just doing kind of an invisible stitch, and that it worked out really well. I ended up doing that on both bags because I feel like that was kind of my best option there. And then it leaves a gap for the sash to go through, which it's just kind of my last step on the bag, and I think it's worth it. It takes me a little bit of time, but I've started sewing with hand stitching. Again, I am sorry about the yelling in the background. There is a very big play going on back there. But it worked out very well. So this is the finished product. The pockets look wonky in that picture, but they're not. They're even. And then you can see the pull closure and then the bow on the side. This is the second bag I made. I love this material. I wish I had so much more. I made the straps for this one as well, and then it's got the little bow closure, and then you pull it to close the bag. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.